Three, two, one. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football podcast we bring you each and every day out there on YouTube. If you can head out there, smash that subscribe and bell notification button, and obviously drop a like on the video. But again, we have the Bionic biker himself, Edward Lindsay, back. So we ain't going to be talking football tonight, but we are going to be talking serious achievements and life goals and cancer and donations and all that good stuff that comes with it. My friend, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me back on. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's been an absolute pleasure. We have to put up this graphic first of all, for
Yes.
our viewers and stuff like that. Mission complete. Now, when I
Done.
say mission complete, what I really want to highlight here is that the cycle is complete, but the donations are still going to be flown in, right? I think till the end of August, is it?
End of August. Last day of
End of
August. You can
August.
donate.
So this good man here in front of me, Ed, had a target, and the target was 5,000, and this is where it stands at the moment. It's slightly higher now, it's up into the 9,400s, but
The
we want
vibes.
to absolutely smash through that 10k. So anything you can do to help out with any donation, no matter how small, you wouldn't believe the difference it would make in the life of someone going through a cancer battle or the bone marrow trust and stuff like that Ed did the cycle for. What we're going to do tonight, it's a little bit of a different flavour. Again, if you're going through any of this stuff or you're having a tough time, if you want to jump into the comments or you want to PM us or anything like that, Ed is here to answer any questions. He's been there, wrote the book, done it all, seen it from every single angle, right from the highs of achieving stuff to the lows of being told bad information and having to get over that and all. So he's been there and done it all. We're going to be talking about the fantastic cycle he did over 5 stages. Not without its trials and tribulations. And I was kind of thinking when you were sending me the updates last week or whenever it was, I was kind of thinking, I seen all the things you were facing, and I was thinking, isn't there such parallels between the cycle and between your cancer battle in terms of two steps
Absolutely.
forward, one steps back? And I was thinking
Absolutely.
on each of these cycle stages, you faced further challenges. It wasn't just let's get on a bike and go for a
No.
cycle. It
What it
was
should have been,
interesting.
what I thought it would be. Like,
Well,
God.
listen, this is God's way of flinging crap at us,
I
and
tell you.
challenging us. Um, Before we get into the bones of the different stages and the challenges that you faced, um, tell us about the team. Tell us who was there, the
Yeah,
support, the guys
absolutely.
cycling with you, all that, because this was a real. Although you had a goal and you were kind of the face of it, this was a real team effort, both on and off the bikes.
And that's all I was, man. I was just a face of it. If it wasn't for any of these lads, I wouldn't have done it. And I'm not going to say that straight up. I mean, starting from the support, my dad and my brother Wes. Wes, the guy who gave me the bone marrow. My dad is the one
Yeah,
who's, you know yourself, always there. So they
yeah,
were on the road. They were driving ahead. They had the camping table set up for us. You know what I mean? Food ready.
yeah,
Anything we needed. Brilliant.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
it came down to the three lads who did the cycle with me: Shane,
yeah,
Flynn, Kieran O'Grady, and Matt O'Grady. No relation, but like these three lads, they were scoping out the next day. I mean, mate,
yeah,
they were making me eat, like, because I go on cycling and I do a day here, a day there of 100k, and I
yeah,
go with a bottle of water and a Mars bar or something.
yeah.
But like they were like telling me,
Your pasta, your rice, your carbs,
yeah, everything,
all
and
the all the
they're like,
scientific stuff
oh,
that you should
like
know from your gym days. You
I
should know
should
from
know,
your
man.
gym days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I know, but I was always a fan of empty stomach cardio, if you remember. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's the way I
absolutely.
was, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like, yeah, no, I mean, without these lads, like, I mean, they were picking the maps, the best maps. They were giving us, like, Maddie and Kieran picked the best maps. Flynn as well, that have the maps. I mean, the keeping us all determined, keeping it all in point, like where we're going. It was never a case of we're starting Mizzen, we're going to Malin. It was like we're starting Mizzen, we're going to town A, we're going to town B. That was
yeah.
the end
Break it
goal
down.
every day. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
break it
again,
down.
this is stuff I wouldn't have done. But I mean, and just the laugh we had, Noel, like, you know what I mean? The laugh, the
Yeah,
crack we had, like,
yeah.
you know,
I looked
I
at.
we
I have to say, I looked at some of the videos, and I was looking at the lads, and I got the feeling that even if you decided to quit, one of them was going to put you on a crossbar, and you were going to go through it no matter what. And they were
yeah, and
determined to put you through it.
that was
Yeah,
it, and that's and I owe it all to them, like, you know what I mean, because there was a day when I nearly did throw the towel in, like, I was
mm,
fuming, and I got on my
yeah,
page. I was like, look, it's grand, don't worry, I hit the target, and no matter what, there's still be a challenge of missing to Malin done this week, but I was fuming inside. I was like,
yeah,
if I don't do this bloody cycle, I tell you, there's going to
yeah.
be war. You know, like I
yeah,
wouldn't have been happy because
yeah,
I had to do that cycle. In my head, I was like,
yeah,
you need to do the cycle. You need to prove you can do the cycle, which I did.
yeah,
But even when, like, that was the Tuesday night, we got into the hinge, and Matt had to guide me in because obviously we're going to my eyes kicked in straight away. You
mm,
know, like
yeah,
I think it was we were 20k in, and my eyes started at me. 20k
yeah,
in out of 666 in the end,
yeah,
and I remember I was like, oh, right, I'm gonna have to quit. And Matt was like, no, let's just see how we're fixed tomorrow.
yeah,
Sleep tonight and see how your eyes are tomorrow. You don't have to
yeah,
quit.
yeah,
Sarah, I rang Sarah and she was the same. She was like, see how you are tomorrow. The two lads were like, we'll see how you are tomorrow. My dad was like, to be fair, my dad, he was like, look, you need to quit. You need to quit. Like no one's gonna no one's
yeah.
gonna think different of you. You know what I mean? But don't worry about it. Like, but
Yeah,
no,
see,
there was
the
no.
thing I wanted to touch on before you even climbed on a bike, there's a pressure there that you'll feel because you've built up to this, and you know that this is a journey for you, but it's also a journey that has many different levels to it. All those people suffering from cancer, all those people who badly need that money, and you carry that pressure on your back. Not just the
Absolutely.
pressure of you trying to complete a cycle in order to, satisfy the people who donated, who don't really want to be satisfied because they've donated to a great
Yeah, no,
cause. But
you know what I
you
mean. That's
feel
it.
that pressure. You would feel that pressure of not only letting yourself down, but letting all these other cancer sufferers in the background that you're putting yourself out there for. So I'd imagine the pressure must have been tough. What was it like the night before getting ready
I,
and stuff like that? How did you feel?
so we drove down to Cork. And we all, myself, my dad, and Matt, all stayed in the
Yeah,
same room. And there wasn't much sleeping done, being honest with you, because I was like, oh, might sleep it out, might sleep it out. Where are we going to start? So yeah, I was a bit antsy. You know what I mean? I was a
yeah,
bit antsy, and to be fair, I've got to touch base back on what you said. I mean, I was completely thinking like I've pushed this out too much. Going on your podcast, people having the page, and everyone knew about it. And I was like,
yeah,
hit the target. And then when I hit the target, I was like, shit, I have to do this cycle. Like,
yeah,
hell or high water, I have to
yeah,
do the cycle now.
yeah,
Like, that's it,
yeah,
And I remember I was like, right, well, I got to do it. Like, so I was very, very nervous. Even starting off, everything about it, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I was probably a bit of a grumpy fucker, being honest, because you know yourself, you're in your head and you're like, shit, I need to do this. But
yeah,
there was nerves, but there was also excitement as well. Do you know what I mean? Like there
yeah,
was excitement to kick it off and get it done. Like, and
yeah,
you know yourself. Like it was just a mix of emotions, but like there was never any negative emotions. You know what I mean? Like I say, it was like shit. I have to do this, but I knew I was gonna do it.
yeah,
Again, hell or high water. But yeah, definitely thinking about everyone's watching me. I had people
mm,
like, oh, I might be down in Cork or I might be here in Sligo. Why don't we wave you through?
yeah, cherry on, like type of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even. I was like, oh, I'll let you know what day it was. I was never doing that, just in case. You know what I mean? I was hanging out
yeah,
the van waving, not cycling. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a Big Mac in the arm. Oh yeah, I got sore
Yeah.
eyes. I can't do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like
envision you
no,
coming up the hill with the bike with a rope tied onto the dad's tow bar, just
exactly.
sitting
You know what
there
I mean?
going along,
The
going,
boy,
yeah, yeah, or something like, yeah, yeah.
the bike rack, and me in the fucking passenger
Yeah,
seat. You know
or
what I
on
mean?
one of those, on one of those trailers like a Paddy's Day parade, and
Yeah,
you're just
exactly.
cycling on the
Spinning.
practice
Yeah,
jokes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
quality,
never said
absolutely,
how I
yeah.
was gonna. I never said how I was gonna get the bike from top to bottom. You know.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
have to reiterate as well for our viewers as well. Anyone who doesn't realise the cycle that we're talking about, who didn't see the first episode, you're talking about the very bottom tip of Ireland to the very top tip of Ireland.
yeah.
So if you can imagine, you can't stretch Ireland out any more than what
No.
Ed cycled. He cycled right from, if you can imagine, it'd be like Ireland's South Pole to Ireland's North Pole.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it's the equivalent of. It's a massive cycle, and it's massive, and it must have been great to have one of those lads there as well, breaking it down into those stages, that it's not
Absolutely.
630, that it's 130 today or 90 tomorrow or
Exactly.
whatever it was.
Exactly.
So that must have been
You
brilliant.
know me, mate. You know me. What I've always been like. I've always looked. I've never been attention to detail. Never, and I never will. It's just who. And to be fair, my dad did say that. He goes, "You need to communicate more, Ed." Like half
Yeah,
us didn't know what was going on until the other lads took over. Because and
yeah,
I explained that. I explained that to one of the lads. I was like, "Look, I'm the type of lad of fucking pissing the cup and throw it up in the air and hope it doesn't hit me and coming back down." You know what I mean? Like, you know, So I mean, I was blessed to have them, but like the way you've said that there at the very very bottom, and that's what it was. I mean, you're looking out at the beautiful ocean, and like, mate, we were blessed with the good weather. I don't think
yeah,
we were blessed, and you're looking out, and it's just beautiful
yeah,
out there. But
Yeah, the whole West Coast is phenomenal. It's
unreal.
absolute. We
And
do not appreciate the beauty of our
no,
country. In
no,
fairness, stuff
no.
like
And
that.
I said that to Sarah. I was like, I'm going to be bringing you and Willow down there. We're definitely going to have to go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
GP
like, yeah,
Productions is in. Morris is in the chat there. Unreal stuff. Morris is a great
thank you.
friend of the show. He does one of the shows on for us and all, and he has his own show there. He interviews loads of
I
wrestlers and stuff like that. And
yeah, I
all. He has a
follow him on
great channel up there.
Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a great lad and a great supporter of the show. So
thank you.
hats off, Morris. Thanks for joining us. So I suppose let's start. Let's get into this like the Tour de France. Let's get into stage one. So
Yeah,
stage
stage
one,
one.
there's stage one there. You can talk us through it better than I can.
Yeah. So
Safe
stage
to
one.
say 138 kilometers nearly though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a good old. That was a good old day. It kind of broke us into to what we had in store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the first day. Like I said, we kicked off in the Hinch. Beautiful weather, absolutely beautiful. My dad dropped us down. We were all there, gearing to go, real happy. It's
Yeah.
buzzes through the roof. Like, and this is where we knew we were going to Killarney. So we kick off for cycling, and I'm not being funny. I'm not even out of the Hinch, and I'm like, can feel me eye. And I just thought, fuck off, please, fuck off. Do not be what I think you are, because I've
Yeah.
suffered with my eyes since the transplant, and they get really
Yeah.
dry.
Of course, yeah.
And as more and more went on, though, I'm rubbing my eye and I'm stopping, and I'm rubbing my eye and
Which
I'm
is the
stopping.
worst thing you can do. The worst thing you
Absolutely.
can do is rub your eyes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And by the time we got 20k in, I mean, that whole left eye, you can see they're still quite tender. But I mean, it was all red there. It was completely
Yeah.
bloodshot. I couldn't see out of it.
Yeah.
I was
Now
like,
I have
don't
to
be.
say, you sent me a picture, and it was like someone had pepper sprayed you.
That's
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 what it looked
exactly
like.
what I
It was
look
like
like.
someone had pepper
Yeah.
sprayed you. Your eyes were just raw red all the
Yeah.
way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we got to the very first break to meet me dad.
Yeah.
So out of what, 3 breaks a day, 15 breaks over the week, the very first one. And I was like, what am I going to do here? I'm screwed. Like, I can't go on,
Yeah.
So I jumped. We saw there was a chemist up there. Went up and I said, look, I need your help. I'm doing this cycle. I need something stronger, because I was using Theo Dulas, but that's good just for dry eyes. But I knew I
Yeah.
needed something stronger. I was like, I need something stronger here, because I can't see out of my eyes. And
Yeah.
she's a chemist. She couldn't. She's a farmer. She's like, I can't. She cleaned my eyes for me. Fair play to her. She
Yeah.
cleaned and like she put rub the stuff in my eyes,
Ointment.
and she got it. Yeah, exactly. Got it out.
Yeah, and they
She's
use
like, I can't
what's
see.
that other stuff they call it? Brolin or something like that, isn't it? They use this
No, because
Brolin stuff.
I was using Brolin
Oh, you were
myself, and
using Brolin, yeah.
she said that's what was causing me eye irritation, because it was so far gone. It was
Oh,
stinging me.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
because it was one bottle. It wasn't. Yeah. So basically, I had to get onto the phone to my nurse, and luckily enough, she was heading on holidays the next day, but she was in. So I'm ringing her, and she's like, "You're not meant to be cycling in Ireland right now." I was like, "Yeah, I am. I need a script." So I had to get a script sent over from James's in Dublin down to this place
Yeah.
in the Hinch. They gave me drops,
Okay.
did the trick, kept me going, but I knew it wasn't doing enough. You know what I mean? The wind was still
Yeah.
irritating. So pushed through, got through the day. We were cycling up a couple of hills, good fun. We made one fatal mistake, and that was we have 3 stops a day. We gave ourselves 3 stops a day. Third stop, I think the adrenaline, the buzz was all still there. We were on a high. Rang me dad. We all agreed. Dad, we don't need you. We're grand. We'll meet you down there. We'll meet you in Killarney in 40k. Like, we were meant to stop after, have 30 after, get gels and all. Last 10k. I was okay. I could keep going, like I say. But there was struggle, and there was, I could see. I remember I said to one of the lads messing, trying to just keep the tempo up. I was like, all right, Twids, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and someone else, fuck one, kill one, marry one, go. And he just goes, Ed, I'm not in the fucking mood. And I knew then, and I was like, oh, fair enough. He just goes, Ed, I'm not in the fucking mood. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, well, look, we push on. So what we did was we did a kind of good way of training. Like, one would take point, and we'd all fall in behind.
Yeah.
And do that for every 3 to 5k just to get us down.
Yeah.
So, the end of the day, we got there. People got to have a proper rest in the B&B. Proper food, and so we got a good day. Actually, we got there so late because we were so off time. We didn't kick off till about 1 o'clock. We decided to get pizza. So carb it up, like 2 pizzas each. We milled them into us, and we got a good night's sleep and then a good breakfast. And that was basically day one. Day one was that it was literally between the eyes and just all of us getting used to each other. Like, Matt would take point and we'd have to fall in, and he'd go, right her up. Then someone comes in, like Shane Flynn comes in, takes point, Matt falls behind, and It was just
Yeah.
one of those,
So
and it was
you're operating like nearly a proper cycling team. That's how a
it
proper
really
cycling
it
team would
really
operate in a
exactly
race, like a Ross or
that's
something. Yeah,
exactly how it
absolutely.
got,
Yeah.
Noel. That's
Awesome.
exactly how it got. Come that
Awesome.
day, and that's exactly how it got. We got to that,
Yeah. Sure. 110, 138 kilometers in 6.5 hours, Nothing to be sniffed at.
It's
Let's
not
get
too
into,
bad when you look at it.
not bad at all. Let's get into day two. Day two was
Yeah,
129 kilometers, 6 hours, 7 minutes. Tell us where you were and where you finished up and all, and what
so
were the challenges this day?
yeah, so we started off in Killarney, gone to Lahinch.
Yeah.
So that was complete breeze against us. We're mostly coastal, as you can tell. Now I
Yeah.
forgot to say on Monday I had to wear a patch on my eye. I think I sent you a picture, but I had a patch on my left
You
eye
did, yeah.
for 120 kilometers. So I was basically cycling with one eye on the Monday. Day two, I changed my glasses. I put like kind of bigger glasses on. We kicked off. It was going good. It was going good, but as time went on, no matter how many drops I took or whatever I did, I could feel my eyes getting bad. But the spirits were high. The lads were in great crack. We all having great form. We were on form as well. We knew what we were doing. We knew the aim. So we were cycling away. It was beautiful. Great scenery. Not like Wes came down and joined us as well. So because day one with me dad, God bless him, we'd see him a lot. We'd be like, because he wasn't using GPS, he doesn't know anything about that. Like,
Yeah.
is that my dad up there ahead? Like, he should be
Yeah.
fucking up. He should be 30 kilometers up the road and getting ready. And
Yeah.
he obviously took a wrong turn, but Wes came, so there was kind of more of a how would I say? What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't matter. There was more of basically a script. We were able to follow a script kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wes kind of brought balance to everything. Like, he was like, right, Dad, this is where we're going. Follow me, lads. Use WhatsApp me. We'll go. So we did 3 stops. It was great. It was a bit of a climb, as you can tell. So it was 1,124. But as I say, we were kicked into gear. We were all behind each other. We were doing this to all the trucks that went by.
Yeah.
You know yourself, and I'm not being funny. If they didn't do it, we were like, yeah, give it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little shit. I mean, you know
Absolutely.
yourself, nearly 40 years of age, but like we're all in the same buzz.
And
But
what was
yeah,
it like? Did you come into contact with many locals and stuff like that? Was there many locals out or anything like that, or was it
not really. To be fair, like we
no?
had to get a ferry across. Just can you see where just between?
Yeah, just where the
Just,
inlet comes in there.
exactly. So we had to get a
Yeah.
ferry across, and one lad came up to us and he asked us a question. He's like, "Oh, look, what's the crack? We're doing a cycle." Thinking, he'd give it to us for free because it was a charity. You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
think he charged us the full
Charged a
24
double.
quid for the? Ah,
Charged a
yeah,
double,
that's
and there
it.
was no tea and custard creams or
No,
nothing. I'd
no, he
say.
wasn't. He just turns around and he goes, no, sorry, he's pay up, which is fine. But like, we jumped on that. It was fun. It was a bit overcast, but we got the ferry over. It was a nice little break. Wes and me there were waiting basically on the other side. Got off, got some food, like got some grub into us. And then as we were getting off, that's when I started sending you the pictures where I looked like the invisible man, with the glasses and all the tape
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
Because I was losing my sight there. I just not losing my sight, but I just couldn't see. I was
It's getting blurry and
blurry,
all. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
completely blurry now.
Yeah. Which is very
Um,
dangerous on a cycle in rural Ireland up the west coast. It's
and
not
that's it. Like,
ideal at
no,
all.
it's not. The fact that I was cycling with a bandage on the eye the first day
Yeah.
wasn't good. I never liked it because someone would come up from the left of me and I wouldn't see them. My peripheral vision
Yeah.
was
You could
gone.
clip
So,
them or something. Yeah. Absolutely. You
and
could move in and
that was
clip
my
them or
biggest
something. Yeah.
my biggest fear now
Yeah.
was I clip someone and I go under a truck or they go under a truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, or
And that
someone ends up down the side of a ditch or something like that with
yeah,
a bike mangled and yeah.
exactly. We had to
Yeah.
be kind of like grown up about it as well. Like my
Yeah.
ego was there. I wanted to do the cycle, but this is coming. Then I get into a hinge, and I'm coming down. And Matt's basically he falls back with me, and I can feel his hand touch me because I can't see shit at this stage. And
Yeah.
I'm like one of the lads turns around and goes, at least it's another story. I was like, Flynn, people are going to start thinking of making things up at this stage. How is it another big story? Like, people are going to think, like, yeah, all right, one hit maybe, beat cancer, and then did a cycle, but everything. So I was fuming. So I couldn't see. I was basically walking around with my eyes closed. I just went in and sat in my hotel room for the night. Got on, I did a video, and I was like, look, if I have to give up, I'll give up. It's fine.
Sorry
But
about that.
I never, no, all good. I never wanted to give up. You know what I mean? And deep down, like not even deep down, on the camera, I was like, yeah, look, I'm happy out, but I was fuming, I was raging. I was like, me after doing nearly 4,000 kilometers cycling, preparing for this mentally and physically, getting to this, and then it's my bloody eyes that give out me. The one thing that like shouldn't be given out me is my eyes. So we woke up for breakfast next morning, myself and Matt, and we were like, what are we going to do? Like, and he goes, well, you can't cycle with a bandage on it. It's too dangerous. He's like, I tell you what, let's go down. We're in Hinge. Let's go down and get you a set of goggles. So I went down to 3 different places, surf shops, all sold out of goggles. We found a big gym with a swimming pool. €30 spent in the goggles. Best €30 ever spent in my life now.
When you sent me, I was cracking up when you sent me that picture. You sent me a picture and he's standing there and he has these swimming goggles on them, and I'm going, what's he doing here now? Is he going into a lake or is he going for a swim or
This is
something?
it, like a triathlon wannabe, like,
yeah.
and that was the thing. So I was delighted with that. We popped the goggles on, completely cut out the wind, so everything was cut out. So every time I'd stop, I'd open it and water would fall out of them because the water was building up so much. Then, do you know, so my eyes were completely hydrated. It was great. So that was deadly, and luckily, because this was actually one of the more dangerous cycles, if you will.
Yeah.
Because we were literally on country roads for the first bit, where it was like we came out of the hotel, and literally first thing you did was hit a big hill, and that was our biggest hill of the day. So I think that was like 1,000-kilometer climb. It was a serious climb. The first thing we did, but we got it done. We come out. And it's Noel, you know yourself with those country roads. Like we're going towards Father Ted's house, so
yeah.
You know,
these are single lane country roads where if you're passing by a car, you're pulling into someone's gate to get by them and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. We had to do that, and literally we did that for the first, I think it was first 30, 40 kilometers, and then the rest was motorway. So we had to be in singles all the way down. You know what I mean? So there was no messing, there was no double sided. So I needed me vision. I couldn't be messing, but it was great because we cycled through Father Ted's house and we took pictures, which was great. You know, I've been there before with Sarah and stuff. It was great to do good pictures, you know.
Yeah.
Did that. But this was the biggest day. This was the biggest day. This was the biggest cycle. And we were all pumped for it. But we were tired as well. Like I could tell some people were tired, you know what I mean? Because we'd already done close to 300k cycle, as was.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot to be done. But we pushed on, we pushed through. But when we got to the motorway, we went into sync. It was unbelievable because my brother Wes couldn't believe it. He was like, I just stopped for coffee and drove on and you're at the next stop already. We were doing some serious pace and it was great. But it was a great day for cycling, but it was the worst day for me personally because there was no banter. There was no, you know, camaraderie, no chats around. And that was a great part of it. Like, especially for me and Matt, he's been in the UK for 10 years and I could literally cycle beside him for a couple of kilometers and have chats with Kieran, have chats with Flynn.
Yeah.
So it was nothing like that. It was all just pure head down, looking at a handlebar, go, go, go. Didn't enjoy that too much.
So this was kind of your loneliest day, if you like.
Yeah, it was. Even though we were all there together, there wasn't much chatting going on. You know what I mean? It was literally, you all right? Need to switch. That was it. You know what I mean?
You can see it there as well with the 153 kilometers and 6 hours 27. You make great time compared to when you look at the other cycles. That's a serious time for 153 kilometers. You know, so
that's what we said, and that's what my brother Wes. He couldn't believe it. He was like, "Lads, I'm stopping to have a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, and then I'm driving to the next place. And by the time I'm getting to the next place, you are just right there pulling it in, waiting." He goes, "I'm behind. I'm in a van." Yeah. So that was great, but like my dad says again, he's like, my man's very religious. He's like, you're not too far away from Knockhead. I was like, yeah, and go get a picture there. Your man would love it. It's like, yeah, that's all right. Oh, well and done that, but like it's still 10k out of the way. We went and got the picture. Like we cycled through Knock, you know. But that was cool. It was cool to get it done, you know. And to be fair, Noel, once we had that day done, it was kind of like, right, we've built up to the longest day. Everything else is pony from now on. You know, we're laughing. Like it's all shorter days.
Or so you thought.
So I thought, you know. So I thought there was still a lot of hills and a lot to be gone. Like, you know, and as I said, I didn't think. I think we were all just going on adrenaline and gel bars. You know, adrenaline, gel bars, and just serious raps that my dad was making. He made some great raps. You know what I mean? Like,
and also I'm sure, as I said earlier, I mean that carrying that weight of that support, that you know you're out there representing this cancer community and this drive and this donation and stuff like that. That's, you know, raising 9-10 grand, whatever it is, for a cancer charity is not to be sneered at whatsoever. That's going to help an awful lot of people and stuff like that. And it's you carry the weight of that as well and stuff like that. Even though it might be even subconscious, you mightn't even think about it. But as you said, you could have easily took the opt out there with the eyes and stuff like
Yeah,
that and all, and you
yeah.
didn't. So there's obviously something in the background there that was driving you on as well, you know.
I,
So
there's a couple of reasons why I wanted to do it, and like I said, one was for me, but it was to prove that it could be done. You know, we're putting survivors are putting a bubble. I'm still putting a bubble to this day. I'm sick of me man's ring. Maybe you should ring James and say, I was like, man, I haven't been there in 10 years. Do you know what I mean? You
yeah,
know, and as I've always said this to you, know, I we won't even go back into it, but it was a shit time for me. It was a very shit time.
yeah,
But I still never forget one nurse said to me, well, there's a dancer lad who comes in here who had one hip replaced and he's back dancing. And that kind of always gave me a bit to hold on to. I was like,
yeah,
I will have better days. And then there's probably someone who probably watched, like, there's definitely one, I know there was definitely one young fella watching it. And he was delighted. And the Instagram reaction was brilliant. I mean, the
yeah,
support I got was unreal. Like,
yeah. It was massive.
I'd get onto that and, like, my phone would be blowing up every post I put up. Like, you know what I mean? Like one
Yeah,
of my mates, Elaine, she goes, oh, who do you think you are, a little blogger now? I was like, I know, you know, but like it's great. But like I wanted to do it because I said I could do it. First of all, I'd put my money I wanted to put my money where my mouth was. But like you said, there was people there seeing this and they're thinking, that's gonna be me. That's a goal I can do. That's something I will do for my give back or whatever, you know
yeah,
what I mean? Or I'll do something similar.
yeah,
And that was it. Like as I said, Shane has been affected by cancer as well. Like, you know what I mean? We both did it. And we want like again, yeah, we wanted to do it. The money had been raised and you know, we were
yeah.
carrying that. We were like we didn't talk
Yeah.
about it, but we were definitely carrying it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, 100%.
you knew there was a guy there either following you on Instagram or a girl. Who was probably lying in a bed somewhere going through a tough treatment. Who was probably looking to you guys and go,
Yeah.
you know, that guy went through the toughest of treatments over the 2 year period or whatever it was, and there he is on a bike now cycling the length of Ireland.
And
So if he can do that, and it's very inspiring, you know, and at the time you don't realise it, but it's so inspiring to see it and stuff like that and all, you know. This is no small feat as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean? This to me is
appreciate that.
huge. I was
Yeah.
I was I was really, really proud of you and stuff like that, you know, and I
Thank
have
you.
to put that out there, you know.
Thank you.
And that's why I said at the start, you got to talk about, again, not dissimilar to your treatments and stuff like that. There's a team around you that supports you and does all this kind of stuff. Your dad's he's a headbanger. He's a
Ah,
great
he's
man, like, you
dead.
know what I mean.
He's
And
dead.
we'll get on to talking about the last leg and stuff like that because I had me in tears, and I'm not gonna tear up just yet. So
No.
let's get on to day 4.
Day
Um,
4. Yeah, day 4. Again, it wasn't a short day, but like this was the way we looked at this. This is 7K shorter than the big day. This we're on the slope down to the shorter days, and it's still
yeah,
150, near 150K. So day 4 again was similar. Kicked off. Sorry, you have to forgive me. So all this talk now, me bleeding. I'm booked with the physio. I think I've got a trapped nerve in my right leg. I'm in bits. my
Listen,
whole
that's
body is
acceptable and
yeah.
understandable, isn't it?
My whole body is
You've
shut
just
down for
cycled
the
the
last
length of
2 weeks.
Ireland, like, you know.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's all these
Yeah,
injuries that are coming after. So I'm in a heap full of
yeah,
ibuprofen. They're great.
yeah,
But so day 4, yeah. Again, it was a similar out day. We did stop off in one of the days kind of juggle a little bit, but we did stop off, and I think it was the Tuesday we stopped off in Kieran's Twids' future mother-in-law for lasagna. So thanks for that lasagna. It was massive, you know. So I
deadly.
forgot to say that. But yeah,
Yeah,
day 4 was great. We kicked off in good spirits. Again, like I say, we were kind of like we're on the home stretch now. We're doing really well. We haven't got
yeah,
a puncher, lads. Not one puncher
yeah,
do we have. We are
yeah,
delighted now. And the day before, Flynn, who came down, he did it on gravel tires, and we actually went through this kind of field. And I mean, again, Ireland off road, it was a field now. I mean, I
yeah.
said to lads, we did this for like 5Ks. Lads, he's taking the fucking piss. Are we lost? Like, is someone just too afraid to
Yeah.
say we're lost?
Someone
No,
take a
no.
left turn through a farmer's gate or something and did
And
something
that's what
wrong
I
or
thought it
something.
was. I was
Yeah,
expecting to see a lad come out with a gun. You're around private property, piss off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I was like, lads, we have to be, we have to be on the wrong turn. It's like, no, this is where Google Maps is telling us to go. I was like, all right, grand. Well, I'll enjoy turning around soon enough, you know.
the dreaded
But
Google Maps.
that's it. And I was like, and I said to Flynn, because the two O'Grady lads were ahead, and me and Flynn were behind, because it was like literally 2 tracks of grass coming up either side, you know.
Yeah,
I was like, we're gonna get a fucking puncture here. I go, the only one who's not gonna get a puncture here is you. You've got your gravel tires. And he starts doing little bunny hops on his bike. Yeah, I'm grand. I'm grand. next day, Thursday, we wake up, Flynn's tire is flat. Of all tires to get flat, Flynn's tire is flat. And it was the only puncture we got. It was brilliant. So his tire is flat. We fix it because it's puncture resistant tire. Puncture, it's tubeless. So it's basically make it easier to fix. Wasn't it? It was a ball ache. So we had to, by the second stop, Flynn's tire was going down again. You know, so we had to like take the wheel off, fix it, basically put a tube in, take the tubes out, just throw a tube in, and then put a little patch in the tire. But we got it fixed, we got it sorted. But it was kind of funny because it was our first puncture we got, and two of the lads were pissed about it, and me and Flynn were laughing. We were like, "Fucking," we don't know if they were pissed or not, and they're probably gonna give me shit, but me and Flynn thought they were pissed at us because Flynn got a punch, and we were just laughing the whole way. We were behind because they weren't talking to us; they were flying ahead. And we were like, "Oh man, because he got a puncher, he's taking the piss." But that's what made it laughable as well. You know, me and Flynn were just cracking up laughing. And then Matt turns around to me later on that night and he goes, "You got into a little hissy fit when the puncher came in." And I was like, "Oh, I did I?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I could tell you were getting pissed off." I was like, "Well, I was getting pissed off because I was trying to tell the lads how to work those little gas canisters. And I was like, twist them all the way on and then press them." And they were twisting them half and the gas was coming out and they were all talking over me. So I was just like, well, no one's going to listen to me. Fucking do what you want. You know what I mean?
You just walked off, sat back on your bike.
I didn't walk off. I just kind of sat there with a grumpy puss on my face as I do best. You know what I mean? And so we did that. But then on the third stop, that was the first stop. So on the second stop, this is all on the same day, and this is the last leg, and everything's gone swimmingly. Bar the eyes, like don't worry about the eyes. But when it comes to biking and bike stuff didn't go wrong, this is the second last day. Everything's been going great, but we've got a puncher so far. We stopped to take a picture of some mountains, the Morning Mountains, I think they're called, or whatever they are. But Kieran is on his bike and he's clipped in, and he turns around to say something. He forgets he's clipped in, falls into a bunch of nettles. So instead of us all jumping off to help him real quick, we're all laughing at him. And I was considering getting my phone and taking a picture. I was like, nah, that's a bit shitty, you know what I mean? But the lads are real careful of their bikes, so they're putting down the bike real slow, and he's literally sitting there with his arms up like a little baby, like, you know, the baby sits.
Lift me out.
Lads, he's like, lads, lift me out, will you just come on, help me out? But we got out, and that was literally that cycle. So that was a bit of a grueling cycle as well, because the last 30k we came into a wind tunnel, and it was just head on. So we literally had to go all together because we knew it was going to be a bit of a tough one when we got there, because there was lads on TT bikes. So, you know, these are the lads with the proper 20, 30 grand bikes flying up and down, and there's lads with flags on, which to be fair to them, they waved the flags for us, you know, just to give us a little boost. But yeah, we knew that was going to be tough, and that did suck. No, the fun and games was gone at this day, at the end of this day, just because we were all tucked in like that, cycling. No give, no take, you know. And it was literally the only talk was Ed up front. And to be fair to the lads, they were very nice to me when it came to being in the front. I think I do about 3 kilometers, and then they're all right, we'll switch, and then they do 10 each. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say I was Superman. I think the lads were very nice to me, but that was cool, you know. But as I say, that was just getting into the second last part into Donegal. That was a Donegal or wherever we went to. But anyway, that sucked. You know what I mean? That did suck.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, you know, when you go on holidays with your mates, and you know the first 3, 4, 5 days are really, really good fun. You're going out, you're having a good time and all that. And after about day 6 or day 7, it's kind of like they start getting on your nerve. And it's just a natural reaction to being around people as well and stuff like that, you know. And imagine that would be escalated even more. You guys are on a grueling cycle. It's not like you're holidaying, you know what I mean? So
and don't get me wrong, no one had a go at each other, and it was just, but you could just tell tensions were a little high. And I don't think any of the lads would disagree with me when I say this. Like they were, like, you know what I mean. We just, no time to yourself, man. No time to yourself. You're on a bike together, you eat together, you sleep. Then me and Matt would sleep in the same room. Do you know what I mean? It's up and down that caring thing. So we wake up, we have breakfast. There's no time. Like, we're away from our kids, we're away from our wives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now it's a tough one. Before we get into the last day, just want to remind our viewers as well. This is the donation. The links are down in the description there, both to the Instagram, and also the donation page and stuff like that. So please, if you could donate whatever you can afford, no matter how little, we want to absolutely smash through that 10 grand before the end of the month. And we're going to get there by hook or by crook. It's a little over 9,400 at the moment. This was a screen grab from yesterday. So anything you can do to help donate, share, share it amongst your socials, all that kind of thing. Anyone who's been affected by cancer, most people are these days either, straight up, or family members or cousins or relatives or something. Normally, most families are affected by it one way or another. And this is like, it may seem like a small gesture and stuff like that, but that 10 grand that's being raised and donated will have a huge effect on a number of people at the
Absolutely.
moment that are going through absolute torture as we
Hell
speak here.
is what it is.
Absolute hell.
It's pure hell,
Yeah.
and like I've
Mm.
never danced around that. It's pure hell. Like, I mean, I said that to
Yeah.
my dad before. Just lads, while I could ask you too, like I never thought I'd hit that 5 grand target. That week of the cycling, it's shot up and it's still going up, which is great to see. But cancer is bloody hell. It's not nice. You're poked, you're
No.
prodded, you leave your
Yeah.
dignity at the door. You fucking,
Yeah.
and you think you're gonna have to, it does. So I mean, a little
Yeah.
bit of light. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so happy to leave it at the 9,420 or whatever it's at now. But imagine we hit 10 grand. Like, that's 200% the
Super.
target. That's
Yeah.
unreal. Like, and
Yeah. And it's
it'd be
it's a
so
huge
appreciated.
extension as well, because it's not just the person directly dealing with the cancer, but it's their
Everybody.
family and everything that they have to go through this whole thing, and firsthand. So it's really, really important that anything you can do to help. Remember, if it hasn't affected you at this stage, the likelihood is somewhere down the line you will be touched by cancer in one
Unfortunately,
way or another.
yeah,
It's just the way it is with so many cancers and so much stuff going
yeah.
on in the world these days. Let's get into the final day, which for me was classic.
Final day. So typical Ed Lindsay final day. What? Typical Ed Lindsay. So final day, we kick off. We're doing great. We are flying. We are coming up, boy. We're coming up through the north. I'm trying to think how it kicked off. Yeah. So final day, we came out, kicked off. It was good. We had the weather on our side. We had the weather on our side the whole time. It was great. Few hills, and I couldn't believe, the lads couldn't believe this, but when it came to hills, I was eating the lads up. I was flying up those hills. I didn't even think I didn't know where it came from, because even in all the training and stuff, I'd be struggling with hills. I don't know what got into me, like, you know what I mean?
Well, your final day will be massive adrenaline and
But,
stuff like that. You're
this
there,
is the
you're
whole
going
cycle.
through it.
I mean, the whole
Yeah.
cycle,
Yeah.
and I think it was the power of positivity as well. I just knew there were so many people pushing me on and stuff. It was great, and I mean, I was delighted with myself. So we're going on. Sarah rings me. Where are you? Because she came up to meet me with Willow, which was great. As you saw the video, it was fantastic.
Yeah, the video was brilliant.
And she goes, "Where are you?" And I go, "Oh, we're just telling her where we are." I go, "We're about 60 out." And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool." She goes, "Good luck with the hills, Ed." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Drove up to see where you're going to be going, Ed. Good luck with those hills." Like, that was it.
Even that final one in the video where you came around the bend and how long it took you to come right up to them and stuff like that.
And this is why I'll tell you why it was an Ed Lindsay special, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So we're going on, we're doing great, like, to be fair. Again, we're making good time. We decided we only needed one stop that day because it was 90k, 97, but we had it down as 90. So we're like, we'll do the first 45, stop, get some lunch, and then go on,
Push on to the end, yeah.
Push on, and we were pushing on. Now, it was good. It was great. We were up again. It was a very quiet ride because we knew we were at the deadline now, and we wanted to get it done. So we were just pushing on. But I started getting the hills and I couldn't get up them. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm lost. I thought I hit the wall. Hit the wall. I was like, what is going on here? So we attacked one massive hill. Couldn't, and I struggled to get up. And the lads flew off and left me. And I was like, right, I'm clearly after hitting the wall. My back brake was rubbing. So basically I was cycling with my back bloody brake on, half my back brake on. Yeah, exactly. So not enough to stop me, but enough to think that I was just tired and the bike, my legs were heavy.
Yeah.
So we tried fixing it. Couldn't be fixed. Like, we'll have to power on. Kieran took the wheel off and put it back on. It kind of aligned. We're like, grand, it's great. And then we were coming to the last few kilometers. Now this is after meeting me down in Belfast for a bit of food. You could really tell when we got into the north. It's just like it wasn't as nice as what it had been. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, what I mean by that is it was more motorways, but it's so, like, the lights and stuff is so dangerous because it goes red, orange, green. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were just kind of getting our heads around that and all. And the motorways were just a lot a lot more than what we had. So like when I say it wasn't as nice, I don't mean nothing on the north. What I mean is the cycling route wasn't nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we did that. We got through. We pulled into Mallintown, and this is literally before you get to the fucking the serious stuff. I wouldn't mind. I'm looking. It's only 887 meters of climbing, but it felt like so much more. Jesus. But we get in, pull over to the side of the bridge just before Mallintown. Try the bike one more time. It's going. It's free wheel, and we're like, grand. Let's go. We'll get me up. I'll get up here. Hopefully, it will last till I get up there. I'm literally starting to climb these hills. The last stretch, the last 3 or 4 kilometers. And I said to Finn, is that fucking thing rubbing again? No, it's not. You're grand. It's not. You're just tired. Keep going. You're grand. So I'm coming up. I can see the vans in the distance. I knew Sarah and Willow were there. Jenny was there. Maeve was there. So two of the lads' partners were there as well. Kay couldn't come there. Obviously, Maddie lives in the UK, so they couldn't come over. But there was a lot of people there. And then I hear all this serious cheering. And I'm like, what the my dad stopped people who cycled there just before us and told them all my story and all. So everyone was like egging me on.
Yeah.
And that doesn't go down well for me. I'm real kind of like, oh, I don't like this. You know what I mean? But Wales was there. And she's like, hi, Daddy. And I was delighted to see that. So that's where I'm coming up. But I'm struggling getting up this hill. And when you look at the video, you see the 3 lads behind me kind of like all together now, like happy as Larry sitting down. And here's me struggling. I was like, Jesus, I look terribly unfit here. Like, but my brain could see it again, and it sees worse. It gave me nothing. So I got up the hill, serious climb, got off the bike. No, I get off the bike. I literally dropped the bike. I didn't make eye contact with anyone. I just kind of walked and kept my head in the ground. Then I kind of got my breath. My dad comes over and he taps me on the back and goes, you did it, son. But I could hear in his voice, he was trying not to cry. So I didn't even acknowledge it because then I would have cried. And I wasn't happy. Not that I don't cry, I do cry, but I was just, I don't want to cry because the lads were like all week, you're going to cry when we get up here, Ed. We're all going to cry, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I was like, no. So I went over, gave Sarah and Willow a big hug and a kiss, you know, I'm delighted to see them.
Yeah.
Gave everyone else a hug, gave me dad a hug. Everyone's cheering me, and I was like, brilliant, fair play. Sarah has these t-shirts on, her and Willow. Well done, Daddy. It was great, you know? And kind of got Willow, and I walked over and I looked over to see. And Willow goes, I love you, Daddy. No, not I love you. She doesn't say I love you, Daddy. No, it's not. That's not what she said. What did she say to me? It was like, Daddy, you okay? Daddy, you okay? Is what she said. And I got lumped me throat, holding her in my arm, looking out, and you can see him holding my arm. I didn't know anyone took the picture, but I think she goes, Daddy, you okay? And then Wes came up behind me. He goes, proud of you, brother. Puts his hand on my shoulder, and then that's
it all came out.
It didn't. It kind of came out, but I could say it was the eyes, and it was done. It was done. We all cracked a bottle of Corona. Sarah bought me a bottle of Prosecco to mark me 10 years being clear. Or a bottle of Moe, should I say. Still haven't drank it yet, but it was done, you know? And not that it was an anticlimax, because it wasn't. It was a great feeling that it's done, but it was like everyone said to me, now what? Now what do I do? You know what I mean? It's done. Haven't been on the bike since, but like, now what? You know, but it was such a great achievement to have done it, and people cheering me, and I'm like, oh, thank you very much. You know, I really appreciate you clapping me on and stuff. My dad's delighted, Wes delighted, the lads are fucking chuffed. You know, we're getting pictures. I get to see Sarah and Willow again. You know, it was so good. But it was done. You know what I mean? And like that was it. Like, you know?
Your dad was great in the video that you sent me when Sarah was there with Willow. And Willow was cheering you on, and then the camera panned around to your dad. And I think your dad, did he stumble or something? He was like this cheering you on, but I think he stumbled a little bit when he was doing it. But it was so hilarious. It was hilarious. He was so excited to see you come up the hill and stuff like that.
He was excited, so he's not watching what he's doing or where he's going. But it was great. It was, and to be fair, mate, those 3 lads that I did it with, there's a serious bond there now. You know what I mean? They're 3 good lads. Like, and actually, the last day before we kicked off, I kind of gave a little speech. I stood out the side of the camper van, and I was serious about it. I was like, "Look, lads," and I'll tell what I said. I said, "Lads, you've no idea how much I appreciate you having me. This has been a dream of mine. Always wanted to do this. You guys taking time out of your life to help me achieve this is it's unthinkable. So thank you so much." And then, you know, me trying to be funny at the end. So let's do this. And I went to jump out of the van, and my foot got caught, and I tripped and nearly rolled out of the van. Nearly wrote myself off. You know,
oh god.
But like, and it was good though because there was a bit of humor then to it. You know what I mean? But like, it's a great achievement, but I'm still kind of being a bit cheeky. I'm like, has anyone else with 2 hips and a replaced shoulder done it yet? Like, it'd be nice to know if they have or not. But even if they haven't, I've still done what I've wanted to do. You know, a lot of post-cancer goals I've done. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, tell us this. During the cycles, I mean, I'm sure there would have been a lot of kilometers there. At any stage when you were cycling, did you reflect on your treatment in your own mind? Did you think back to the treatments that you went through and the stuff like that? Let's say while you were cycling 20k on the motorway where you were in single file or
Yeah,
whatever it was there any stage you reflected on where you had
it's,
been to
I
where you were now?
didn't reflect on the treatment, if you get me, but I just reflected on because I had a lot of time to think.
Or that time, let's say.
I reflected on a couple of people that I knew that I don't know now. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially one lad. And I always, I don't really ever think of the treatment. I think of the rooms I stayed in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in Tala, I was always in room 11 on Web Ward. Big private room, but it's because you literally have to walk through one door, towel, gown up and mask up and everything, and then come into me because I'm neutropenic. Yeah. So I thought about that. I then thought about how good everyone has been to me in the hospitals and how good they are. You know what I mean? And this is not a word of lie. I'm not yanking anyone's chain. Like, I thought about that, and then I thought of what like you say, what I've gone through. And I remember thinking, well, you're doing what you said you were going to do after all these years. Yeah, it's a bit later, but you're still doing it. You know?
Yeah.
And I was kind of giving myself a bit of a pep talk. I was kind of having a one, because I always do a bit of self-affirmation in the morning, like, you know what I mean? Pat myself on the back, you know? But it's kind of like saying, you're doing this. There's not much more you can't do. You know, you need, like, more of a kind of, I need to stop stepping in my own way. Do you know what I mean? And then what I did think of, and I always think of, is, again, it wasn't treatment, but it was preparation for treatment. I always think of, like, one of my last days before I went to James's, where they took the Hickman, the line out of this arm, put one in my chest, gave me a bone marrow biopsy, and they did chemotherapy into my spine, all within like 2 hours. It was a fucking tough day. And I remember thinking, I went home to my house that I was renting at the time in City West, and I just crashed on the couch because and I always remember Mark Gretton, to give a shout out to Gretton, he wrote because I wrote on Facebook, I was like, this is the day I've had today. Again, I documented that when I was doing the dream. And he just wrote, you're one hard bastard, Ed. You know, Gretton being Gretton. You're one hard bastard, Ed. Yeah. And I remember thinking, well, I'm not. But can you imagine, like, the kids who have to do that, or the grannies the old people who have to do that? Like, it's fucking awful. Absolutely. And I remember thinking that was probably what came to my mind the most. Just those few things, like thinking about Henry rest his soul, thinking about the rooms I stayed in. Like in Burkitt's, I always remember the doors because, again, in Burkitt's, it's a big ward where it's kind of, you're cut off and you have to step in one door, let that close, and the other one opens up. So the noise to make it's real, like something out of Alien or Star Trek or something. They're things that went through my head, but treatments, no. I never really thought of, like, you know, good days and bad days. I just kind of thought of where I'd been.
Moments in your journey and your surroundings.
Yeah. And when I was having the tough days, it's funny, you know, I wasn't thinking about the treatment. Like when I say we had to just keep our heads down and get going, keep it going, I was never thinking about, like, I've had tougher days. I was thinking, you need to get this done. Just the drill sergeant in my head, you need to get this done. You need to get it done. Like, you know, the way I looked at it is, it's going to be shit for the next 30k, but you'll be sitting in your bed. And the way I think of it, you'll be sitting in your bed come 7 o'clock. You don't have to move your bed for 12 hours. So, like, that's your goal, you know? So, like, I mean, to be fair, there was not much talk on the cancer because the lads who were doing it knew it inside out anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, me Dan Wes knew what I've been through inside out. It was more just a fact. It was about 4 lads getting on a bike, taking on a challenge, and fucking having a good time doing it. And that's what we did. You know?
So when you got into Malin Head and you got off the bike, and you said you kind of needed that kind of moment, you know, that kind of moment to yourself. Was that kind of internal fuck you finally to cancer kind of thing?
Yeah.
Is that how it felt? It was like the two fingers straight up.
Fuck you to a lot of things and a few people as well. You know what I mean?
That's okay.
That's okay. I'm not going to lie to you. But I got off the bike And I take real good care of my bike. Like, you know, it's a nice
yeah,
carbon bike. So I'm like,
yeah,
oh, you know,
yeah,
but I unclipped and I just dropped the bike on the floor, walked up, and part of me wanted to go, I'm a fucking animal like that. But I didn't. I just went up and I took a big deep breath,
yeah,
exhaled, and turned around and looked at my family. And just let
yeah,
everything go. I was like,
yeah,
done it. I've done it.
yeah. But it was
Fuck
that
you.
it was that
Fuck you. Yeah, I've
from
done
what
it.
I hear from you, there was that moment that you
Absolutely.
needed yourself to
I
kind
just
of
needed,
internally
yeah,
go "fuck you" type
fuck
of
you.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, no, and that's what it
absolutely.
was. It was literally, it was like, fuck, fuck the
Yeah,
last decade is what it was. Not the last
yeah,
decade completely because it's been great for
yeah,
me as well. But
yeah,
fuck the start of the last decade,
yeah,
2011 to 2014. I was like,
yeah. Those
fuck
two
years.
3 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know.
Um, so tell us this. I know you've had time to reflect, but obviously, from the sounds of things, it doesn't like this is going to be the end. Um,
I've a
any
few more
thoughts on
goals.
where you're going now?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people were like, "What's next for the Bionic Biker?" It's always going to be to spread the importance of giving platelets, bloods, and being a bone marrow donor.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to. As I say,
yeah,
yeah, this cycle was about me, but it's about me spreading that word. Like, I can't keep
mm,
asking people for money, and I'm not going to. There's
yeah,
plenty more people out there who can raise money. Like that lad who's suffering from brain cancer at the moment and king of chemo. Like
yeah,
he's out there raising millions, and he's doing great. And
yeah.
that poor lad,
Yeah, he's fantastic.
he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's pushing through.
Great
You know, and
attitude. Great
absolutely.
attitude. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and you need more people like that. You need
Yeah.
like he is
Absolutely.
literally a big fuck
He's
you
brilliant.
cancer. You
I
know what I mean?
follow him
Yeah,
on TikTok. He's brilliant.
yeah. He's
Absolutely
you know,
brilliant.
and like
Yeah.
hats off to him. Like he's amazing. It's
Yeah.
an amazing attitude. But I'm not going to keep asking people for more money. Like I say, if I get to 10 grand, I get it. Brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've already got 190% of the target. But what's next for me is to go backwards. If you get me, keep going
Mm.
forward, but go backwards. We did speak the first time about the bench press competition stuff. I wouldn't mind getting a
Mm.
few of them back in. Like I'm
Yeah.
wearing medium t-shirts now and they're quite loose, but like
Yeah.
I don't want to be a buff bagwell kind of thing, but I just wouldn't mind going back to the gym and
Yeah.
doing a bit, you know.
But we said we were going to commit to that anyway soon.
We
Anyway,
did.
that's going to
We
happen
absolutely
because
no 100.
I
percent
need it just as much as you, but I'm not in a medium.
Well, that's the plan, you know. We could swap shirts
Yeah.
or something, you know what I mean? No, I
Absolutely.
mean
Yeah.
no. I there was definitely keep spreading awareness of how important like that and the naivety of like a bone marrow transplant is not straightforward as much as I thought it would be. I thought I'd be like chemotherapy, radiation, bone marrow,
Mm.
back to work
Yeah.
again. It's not the case. But and again, people need to realize everyone's different. So what I've gone through, probably very low chance anyone else will go through it. They'll be unfortunate enough to go through it, and you know, but like
Mm.
I'm still standing. But what would be next for me would be like personal life. I'm getting my degree. We're trying to get the house. You know, we're working. We're both working. We got a little baba.
Yeah.
Happy enough with Willow at the moment.
Yeah.
Then the Bionic Biker page. It's literally like, yeah, Troy definitely join the gym and just see what I can do. Like test the body. I tested the hips already.
Yeah.
They went well. Maybe test the right shoulder. Maybe
Yeah.
next time you can see me, I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, uh, you know, yeah, and just live a good life, I suppose. Live a
Yeah.
decent, live a decent, semi-honest life. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sounds like
You know,
plenty of goals ahead and not too many
yeah,
limitations. Don't limit yourself by your mind or anything
no,
like that.
and
Get
that's
out
it. Like,
there,
stop
you'd be
standing
amazed
in
what
my
you
own
can
way.
achieve and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Stop standing in
Yeah.
my own way, and I encourage everyone to do that. Like, yeah, like I got that bike 2 years ago. I got that bike in 2020. No, I couldn't cycle a kilometer. Even though I used to do cycle, I couldn't cycle a kilometer. And I
Mm.
kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And you know, so yeah,
Yeah.
definitely just keep pushing myself, trying to grow a bit, you know.
Yeah. Well, then, just one final reminder, you know where the donation is. The link is down in the description and stuff like that. Anything, again, we can ask you to do. This is going to make such a difference to people's lives, no matter how much or how small you donate. It all adds up in the end and stuff like that. And as Ed said, even if you can't donate, if you can support some of that stuff and become a donor and stuff like that, some of that stuff he spoke about, that's even more important than what you would donate. Because you never know when someone might get struck
Absolutely.
down by this, and you might be a match for that person or something, and you could make a huge difference. The difference between life and death in some cases.
100%.
Um,
The difference between life and death. Absolutely.
so listen, I mean, thanks for coming on and telling the
Thank you.
story. Me and you do have a number of bench press evenings ahead of us. There's no doubt about
Definitely.
that.
Look forward to it. Can't
Um,
wait.
Look, it was a pleasure having you on both episodes. It was absolutely brilliant. The insight into the treatment, the battle that you went through, where you are now, how good life is with Sarah and Willow and the family and the dad and every mum and everything else, the brothers and all that sort of stuff and sisters and everything. All it's
Incredibly lucky,
absolutely
Noel. I'm
it's a
incredibly lucky.
fantastic story, and it's a story I told you before that had to be told, to understand it. And I seen it at its very very low moment, and I've
Yeah.
now witnessed it at its very very high moment. So it's a pleasure for me to have you on the podcast.
Thank
You're
you.
a close
Thank you.
friend.
You're a good
We've
lad.
had some good times and some fun times as well, and
The
yeah, I
time I
can tell.
pretended to be a US champion and got signed an autograph for a lady.
Listen, who knows? Who knows what could happen so far? Like I would say to our viewers out there as well and our subscribers, if you can smash that subscribe button, of course. Also, like the video, like, hit that like button and the share button and stuff like that. Share the story. You never know where this story might hit someone and touch them and inspire them to get up, get on top of the treatment and push through rather than letting cancer take their life and changing their life and stuff like that and all. It's a brilliant story. It's a story of success. And these stories are sometimes few and far between. So it's great to have it there and to have a catalogue that you can go back and look at it at any different time, or anyone else who's at a low point who can go back and look at it. And like we said, if anyone out there is going through something tough at the moment, you can reach out to us, you can reach out to Ed, whoever you want to reach out to. Talk to someone who'll power you through those tough times and stuff like that. We will certainly help as much as we can. We can put you in touch with Ed and stuff like that and all. He's a great guy, he's a positive guy, and if he can't power you through it, no one will power you through it. That's for sure. But until next time, my friend, it's been a pleasure and congratulations on what you
Thank
achieved.
you. Thank you.
Fantastic donations, a great achievement. And we look forward to what comes up in the future. You never know. We'll have to come up with something good, I'd say.
I'll do my
Cheers.
best. Thanks, man.
Cheers,
Good luck.
brother.